Clive Davis. Devil incarnate. Clive Davis. He Janis Joplin. He blackmailed Betty Wright so she wouldn't tell anybody that he Janis Joplin. He Whitney Houston.
I know so much more about you, Alicia. I paid good money for the intel I got on you. And it was worth every penny.
Alicia Keys was there singing Bad.
They did a little touchy.
They did. Ah! That was the first note. Was it her or was it the demon inside of her asking to be let out?
The music industry loves polished stories. It loves success, it loves talent, and it loves inspiration. But behind every polished story, there is another version. A version with pressure, influence, silence, and guidance that is not always natural. Today, we look at the story of Alicia Keys and the powerful people who helped shape her career. Alicia Keys was guided, controlled, protected, and sometimes pushed into situations she never spoke about. It says Jay-Z, Clive Davis, and the social circles around Diddy all played a role in how she moved, how she was seen, and how her image stayed spotless. This is not a hit piece. It is a commentary on patterns. The pattern of silence, the pattern of protection, the pattern of choosing peace instead of public confrontation. Alicia Keys is loved because of her voice, her poise, and her presence. But the commentary suggests that a carefully built system stood behind her from the start. A system that managed her art, her relationships, her controversies, and even her public reactions. We will explore her early career, her connection with Clive Davis, her collaboration with Jay-Z, her personal life controversies, the no makeup movement, the Saudi Arabia event, and the long list of rumors that she never addressed.
You wanna know what Clive Davis did for Whitney Houston? While he was busy trying to bring her back. See, people forget, before she came to the United States, he sent her on an international tour. And she went out on tour and she was still getting high at the time. You know, let's see. What happens if I put in Whitney Houston, Kazakhstan?
That's where she went? You down in Kazakhstan? Oh, man.
This was not long before she passed away. Not because you're happy that she's falling apart, it's just she's doing the crackhead antics so dope. You know what I mean? She was in it. Huh?
Yes.
What is my key? Like she's in front of the president of Kazakhstan.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
But it was good enough to get that check though. And then he put her in rehab to clean her up right before it came time for America, because she had to at least appear sober in America for the whirlwind story. And then they brought in R. Kelly to do that song for her. That she had to use auto-tune to sing because her lungs were so jacked up from all the smoking. And, you know, a lot of people didn't know she was a heavy smoker. She was a chain smoker. She smoked 3 packs of Newport a day and still could sing like that. But when you add in the cocaine or the crack, and then the this and that, and then when they did her autopsy, they said there was nothing wrong with her throat. Her lungs were so damaged that she couldn't fuel the notes. It was her lungs. It wasn't, her voice was fine.
Oh.
That's how Clive did it.
Alicia Keys entered the music world young and gifted. She played piano as if she was born with it. She wrote songs from her heart. She had the voice, the skill, and the hunger. But talent alone does not launch a superstar. That part came when Clive Davis discovered her. At 19 years old, Alicia became one of the last major artists he personally signed. Clive Davis is known for creating stars who do not fade. He understands radio. He understands branding. He understands the power of shaping an artist before the world sees them. With Alicia, he saw potential, but he also saw the need for refinement, so he stepped in. Not lightly, not temporarily. He shaped everything: the music, the sound, the presentation, even the timing of her releases. Her debut album, Songs in a Minor, went through multiple revisions before Clive approved the final version. Some tracks were reworked, some vocals were redone, some decisions were made without her full comfort. Clive wanted her to be soulful, but not too raw, emotional, but still commercial, classical, but also radio-friendly. He believed in her, but he believed even more in shaping her. This early control worked. Alicia's debut became a masterpiece. Critics praised her, fans connected with her. The industry crowned her as a fresh voice. This was also the beginning of a bigger pattern. Alicia became an artist who trusted strong industry hands to guide her. She was not rebellious. She did not fight her label publicly. She did not challenge Clive. Instead, she thanked him and followed the path he laid out.
And y'all can hear that fairy tale about Clive Davis. You understand? He might took him to the back of the boardroom or something like that and blessed him. You understand? But all that about, you know, that he was the money and he was the engine behind Bad Boy getting started, nah. You understand? Because Kirk Burroughs was the brains behind this. You understand? Knowing how to get the money, knowing, you know, how to write the up. You understand? For the artists, for the people, and taking care of that. You understand? Because when we was doing the parties and Puff had the red zone, the building and everything like that, we would always take the money over to Fifth Avenue to Kirk Burroughs' house. He stayed over there on 111th and Fifth Avenue, across the street from the Schomburg. So all that they get on television and you see in the Bad Boy story that they was going to Scarsdale with that. That's they try to X Kirk Burroughs out of his legacy of starting and doing everything for Bad Boy. You understand? You know, this is crazy the way they get out here and they want to fool you, and then when a like me get on here and start, you know, talking and telling and saying what really happened, say, yo, I'm a snitch. Get the out of here. I ain't snitching on nobody, because ain't nobody, I ain't got no criminal record where nobody could go to jail for whatever I tell. Now I could tell some for a motherfucker to go to jail with, alright? You know what I'm saying? Don't get it up. You understand? Because he knows that. He knows that. So back at this we talking about, you know, this fairy tale with Clive Davis, scratch that out your thought process. Yeah, Clive Davis ended up bringing him to Arista because Arista was looking for a rap situation and everything like that. But it wasn't because you know, he Puff didn't have the avenue and he had an artist and he had that. He got that because he kept the engine going with the Bad Boy money from Buck and L from Buck. And you know why they got 916 to like synthesis, because they was out there doing their thing as entrepreneurs, street entrepreneurs. It ain't no, it's public record, so it ain't no, it is what it is. You understand? You know, these cats get out here, you know, and they don't have no honor no more. You understand? You know, they want you to think it's all right, you understand? And they hard body because they sitting around here kissing other men in the mouth and, you know, dressing like they feminine and everything like that, and want you at the masses to think, yo, it's all right, that's the new millennium. If it was the new millennium, I don't want no part of it, bro. You understand? I'm good. I'm not gonna be the old in the chain in the club with a chain tight around my neck and everything like that. I'm not gonna be the old that you gonna see with no tight jeans on. You understand? You understand? I'm not gonna be the big old with none of that on.
Behind the scenes, Clive reportedly directed more than just her music. He influenced her interviews, her wardrobe, the softness of her public tone, and even the way she spoke about her personal life. Alicia became an example of a perfectly shaped artist, talented enough to shine, disciplined enough to follow directions, and calm enough to avoid drama. Many fans believe she was naturally peaceful. As Alicia Keys rose higher, she entered the most influential circles in music, album launches, private dinners, industry retreats, and of course, the iconic parties hosted by powerful figures. Among these were gatherings associated with Diddy. These parties were the heartbeat of celebrity culture. They were filled with artists, executives, models, athletes, and people who held real power. These parties were more than just celebrations. They were networking arenas. They were stages where alliances formed.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing. And I've lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that because the man card means everything.
They were places where rising stars learned the unspoken rules of the industry. Alicia attended these events because she was becoming one of the industry's most precious assets. But she also attended because the people guiding her expected her to be present. Alicia often stayed quiet at these gatherings. She watched more than she spoke. She learned who was in control. She learned which rooms mattered. She learned that music was only half of her career. The other half was connection, loyalty, and silence, especially silence. Diddy's events brought her close to Jay-Z, who would later shape one of the biggest hits of her career. At these gatherings, Alicia reportedly understood that the industry had a hierarchy. That hierarchy rewarded those who followed the flow and punished those who tried to resist. She was already connected to Clive Davis. Now, she was entering rooms where Jay-Z was a central figure. This was the second major stage of guidance in her life. one controlled by hip-hop power, business empires, and influential networks.
Well, because the Me Too movement was a ruse. It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
Jaguar,
Guess they're on vacation.
if this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think that the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Porter?
people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know. I'm just being honest with you.
You're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter,
Yes.
a new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more. I am friends with Albie Shore. I love him. I love his children. I knew Kim. We used to all hang out together at the Kit Kat Club back in the mid-90s when Diddy was first starting his reign. I watched that whole thing happen. And everything that Albert has been through, every attempt on his life that has been ignored by the authorities, it all leads back to Diddy, and everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting air tag on children during visits. These are normal practices that these people do.
The collaboration that changed everything was Empire's State of Mind. Before this song, Alicia was respected and successful. But after the song, she became monumental. She became the voice of New York. She became a symbol of inspiration. She became part of a sound that was bigger than both artists. Here's where the story gets interesting. Alicia was not the first choice for the track Mary J. Blige was considered, but Jay-Z picked Alicia. The video suggests 2 possible reasons. One was artistic. Alicia's voice had a hopeful tone that matched the song's energy. The second reason, according to some industry whisperers, was the growing connection between Jay-Z and Alicia, a connection built through mutual respect, but also shaped by shared rooms, shared events, and shared industry circles. Empire's State of Mind became a massive milestone for her. The song reached audiences who did not normally listen to R&B. It took Alicia into new territories. Her fame skyrocketed. Award shows, interviews, global tours. Everything expanded after this collaboration. Comes with influence, and that influence came with expectations. Jay-Z became one of the strongest forces behind her mainstream visibility. As her public image grew, her silence became more valuable. Controversy could ruin the brand that Jay-Z and Clive Davis helped elevate. So Alicia stayed on the safe path. She did not challenge industry politics. She did not comment on messy issues surrounding other artists. She did not fight public battles. She protected her image with extreme care, and the people guiding her protected it even more.
Back on land.
Safe. See, he didn't get
Safe.
eaten by the plankton.
Yeah, my face is on
Sure.
fire and
No,
burnt to
no.
fricassee.
Oh, yeah.
She, you know, y'all gotta agree. There's white sports and there's black sports. There's certain things, you know, kayaking with the whales. We need to be on the boat for the yacht
Doing
for
new
that.
things. Doing new
Yeah,
things.
but anything
New
can
things.
happen. Like, we gotta get back to the kids.
Why is your joint last so long?
Because you're on the story, I'm on the actual Instagram.
I mean, I know why.
So we can't cut it off. Cheers.
Cheers.
You crazy. Okay, what you wanna do, skydive next?
One of the biggest controversies in Alicia's life was her relationship with Swizz Beatz. At the time, he was married to Mashonda. When Mashonda wrote her open letter accusing Alicia of being involved with her husband, the public expected a statement. They expected clarification. They expected honesty. Instead, Alicia stayed silent. This silence became one of the most defining traits of her career. The video claims Alicia's team believed any response would create fire. By saying nothing, the story would eventually fade. And it did. But the silence made people question her authenticity. They wondered whether she avoided accountability. They wondered whether she avoided conflict because she genuinely disliked it or because her brand could not handle it.
Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz are responding to cheating rumors and that they are getting a divorce. Over the last week, a lot of you have been hitting me up or in the comment section talking about, Kempire, have you seen the latest news on Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz? And I was like, no, I haven't. And then I saw a story where they were saying that Swizz Beatz impregnated some white lady and Alicia Keys filed for divorce. Well, just a couple of days ago, Swizz Beatz posted on his social media pictures of him and his wife, Alicia Keys, in Japan, and he had a message. So Swizz Beatz says this in the comment section with a bunch of emojis: positive vibes only, blessings and endless love. We wish you endless love and happiness. The Dean's 15th. Damn, Alicia, it's been 15 plus years since you took that lady's husband. She did. But less than 24 hours ago, Alicia Keys responded in the comment section saying this. And of course, he pinned her comment saying, I adore you beyond words, my king. We are more connected than ever, forevermore. Plot twist, they have an open marriage. I'm kidding. I mean, I don't know. You just never know people's circumstances and things like that. I don't know if there's a baby. I don't know about any photos. I don't know if she ever filed for divorce. I don't know. Marriages go through things. Could they have gone through something? Maybe. I don't know. But when that rumor came out, I hadn't heard anything solid or legitimate. But here we are. She says she's gonna stick beside him. But I know some of y'all that were doing videos on this could not wait for the day that this happened to Alicia Keys, because a lot of you say, how you got him is how you gonna lose him. Well, at least not yet. Or at least based off of whatever circumstances within their relationship, they're like, that's not necessarily a deal breaker. We don't know. Again, everything is alleged.
Alicia's silence was not only personal, it was strategic. It was shaped by people who wanted her to stay clean. Her peaceful image was too valuable to risk, so she continued forward without addressing the accusations. Eventually, the story faded, but the public never forgot. Alicia shocked the world. When she started appearing in public without makeup, it was presented as a bold movement for natural beauty. People admired her confidence. Fans called her inspiring. Media outlets praised her bravery for a while. She became the face of authenticity. But eventually, cracks began to show. She appeared at events looking polished. Her skin looked prepared. Her face looked groomed. People accused her of being inconsistent. Critics said the movement felt performative. They argued it was a branding strategy rather than a real personal choice. And again, Alicia stayed silent. She did not explain anything. She did not defend the movement. She did not clarify the process. She simply let people speculate. The video argues that Alicia's silence works for her. It is her strongest tool. When she speaks, she softens. When she stays silent, she lets time erase the noise. This pattern continued.
I was a party favorite.
that mean?
It was a party favor. That was somebody you could take off the table.
So you're telling me they set children?
I set children
on a table. Like when you go to a birthday party and they have gift bags for everybody that comes that have candy and toys in them,
Yep.
and they set them on the table. So you're telling me at the freak off parties, they put children on the table instead of gift bags, and then people can do what?
Take you off the table and have you, even though it's against the rules to do certain things like or full health. Sometimes that's against the rules. Like for me, that was against the rules, but that didn't matter. That did not matter.
So they come choose you off the table, do whatever they want with you, and then what happens?
Then they put you back on the table.
They put you back on the table for somebody else to come choose you? Okay. That's called a party favor effect. That's just one of the little things that go on at the freak off parties with children. Were there animals there?
Goats.
Did they turn the animals loose on the kids?
Yeah.
And if you got sick and threw up because it was so disgusting, what happened?
You had to eat it.
You had to eat your vomit if you threw up. That's satanic ritual. Diddy was at this party? Denzel Washington was at this party?
Yep.
Birdman was at this party?
Yes, he was.
And Young Jock?
Yep.
And you're telling me Denzel was there and it was after 1 o'clock when he supposedly left?
And beanie, socks, and a gold chain.
So you're telling me Denzel Washington was... He had a beanie on, socks on, and a gold chain, and that's it. In front of children.
Yep.
Funny. Because he sure portrays himself to be holier than thou.
Yep. So a lot of them do.
I think you also told me that one of those men have a birthmark.
Left thigh.
One of those men have a birthmark on their left thigh.
Yep.
In 2024, Alicia performed at a women's summit in Saudi Arabia. Activists criticized her. They believed she was supporting a government with severe restrictions for women. Her posts from the event showed joy. They showed pride. They showed excitement. But they did not address the criticism. Once again, she chose silence. This silence protects her from political backlash. It keeps her brand neutral. It keeps her image clean. It keeps her audience wide. But also makes people question how genuine her activism is. Her brand has always been about empowerment. Yet, when challenged, she does not respond. This silence is not accidental. It is strategic. It is part of the system that has shaped her since she was 19. Throughout her career, Alicia has avoided major scandals, not because none existed, but because they never gained traction. The video mentions rumors of substance use. It mentions whispers about unpredictable behavior during certain performances. None of these claims have proof. None were addressed by Alicia. None became public scandals. This is not luck. It is protection, strong management, strong connections, strong influence. People like Clive Davis and Jay-Z know how to control narratives. They know how to suppress stories. They know how to protect an artist's image. This protection became part of Alicia's public identity. She was seen as pure, spiritual, positive, loving, and grounded. But the commentary says that this purity was shaped, not fake, but curated, carefully watched, carefully molded.
You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So once again, why does diplomacy matter? It wasn't diplomacy that got me that award. It was honesty. So understand this. You can save your race shame and your race-baited conversations. Ain't nobody worried about y'all. We got serious work to do. And after talking to my good friend Paperwork today, it looks like there's some things that I need to make sure that we are alert Cash Patel's office about. We think it's of great concern. And I'm sure Mary Flynn would agree with me. She knows how dangerous Diddy can be, and with Clive Davis being at the heart of it all, I'm sure that makes it even more egregious. So yeah, last time I checked, I'm American. Prove I'm not, and then have a problem with it. See, it was Liz Crokin that brought me there. A lot of people have called her a lot of things. A lot of people have called me a lot of things. She's white, I'm black. And yet the one thing that is for sure, I see her as a sister in arms, fighting against these monsters, believing in her like she's believed in me. To Americans. That's all. Why is it so hard for the black community to acknowledge that you're worried about the wrong things? You got a real one working with an organization that can bring real movement to bringing America to a brighter future. How is this a problem? Because I'm black? I shouldn't be doing it? I should only be accepting it if it's a Black Excellence Award? If it was an NAACP award, would that mean more to y'all? Would that be cool? Because guess what? The NAACP ain't offered me that award. You know who offered me that award? America's Future. Well, how did Nelly say it? Wait a minute, let me jack off Nelly right quick. Ain't name black organization asked me to honor me for what I've done. Just America's future.
When you look at Alicia Keys' career as a whole, one thing stands out. She almost never responds to controversy. She almost never engages in conflict. She almost never corrects rumors. Her silence is powerful, but silence can also be a shield. Silence was the tool used to maintain her brand. From her early career under Clive Davis to her international collaborations with Jay-Z, the people around her encouraged silence. It kept her safe. It kept her marketable. It kept her untouchable. But the downside is this: silence also creates mystery. It creates confusion. It creates questions. It creates distance between the artist and the audience.
That shit happened in the Hamptons. That's the day I met that me and Aaliyah, we hung out there and then we left. And that's what happened. That was 20 years ago. That was not in LA or Miami. But I know they're gonna play games with them pictures. It's all good. I don't really care. My thoughts on Diddy is sad, period. It's just sad. And crazy. And it's shocking. She don't want me outside at all. So, yeah, I'm sure. But I know I've been over here. And I never judge a man for any preference and all that, and they keep it to themselves. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. So, none of that, and, I don't know anything about any of those things. From 2005 on, I wasn't around. And that was the reason why I wasn't around. So what's good is I don't know anything. I just know I wasn't there. And whatever happened it's a mystery to me, like it was a mystery to everybody else. But, I know that my instincts told me to get the out of certain environments. I'm not gonna say necessarily that one, but, things that were along those lines. You know what I mean?
Alicia Keys is one of the most respected artists in the world. Her voice is timeless. Her music comforts millions. Her presence is soft and warm. Behind this gentle image is a carefully guided career shaped by powerful hands. Clive Davis crafted her early sound. Jay-Z expanded her global reach. Industry circles influence how she moved. Diddy's events shaped what she saw. Critics challenged her choices. Rumors surrounded her. Controversies followed her. Yet through it all, she remained silent. Her silence protected her. Her silence strengthened her brand. Her silence kept her away from major scandals. But silence also hides truth. And when you look at her entire journey, you begin to wonder what part of her story was natural and what part was created. So now, the final question becomes clear. Is Alicia's silence a sign of inner peace or a sign of powerful control behind the scenes? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on any new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.